He's one of the lost boys of Sudan. Thousands of young boys who were orphaned or displaced due to a civil war that killed millions of people. Alphonsion Dang eventually settled in San Diego's City Heights neighborhood. He has written a book about that experience, and he joins us now with his co-author and mentor, Judy A. Bernstein. Disturbed in Their Nest, it describes your experience when you moved to San Diego and settled in City Heights. Can you talk to me about your early days in the City Heights community?
Everything was quite like what I expected in the refugee camp before coming here. The immigration program told us about, things to expect. Things like, going to school, getting a job. But when I arrived, it felt like another jungle for me.
What was your objective in writing this latest book and in the previous book?
I didn't have to convince them to tell their story. The first day I met them, the thing they wanted to get in Walmart were composition books. And so they started writing and giving me the writing. They wanted me to help them with their English. And when I saw the stories, they were just, they were about what had happened to them in Africa, and some of them were about little experiences here as well, but mostly about for 15 years they'd been fleeing the war and been in a refugee camp. So these were stories I couldn't even imagine. And at the time the war was still going on, so their families were, suffering in silence. It was a couple of years later, I was like, you guys have written all this beautiful stuff, and I think the world needs to hear it. There's a purpose for these stories.
And you said that Alphonsion and his brother and cousin were already writing about their experience, but do you feel that sharing it in this way has been in any way therapeutic?
I don't know if I would say it's it depends what therapy is. But I think it's meaningful to be able to. Judy was the one that encouraged us to tell their story. Where I come from. Stories, were a part of my life, and but they were like passed down orally. Mm-hmm. It was never in this modern day form of storytelling, where you got to put your story into a book. And because of her skills as a writer and an understanding of where we came from, and she was sensitive to the nature of our story, that gave us the courage. I mean, at least it gave me the courage to be able to tell it.
And what do you think people can learn from reading this latest book?
I think they can learn what I learned. We see ourselves as being the norm, and until we're exposed to other people and other cultures and see their values, our perspectives can remain narrow. And so knowing them and seeing America through their eyes broadened my perspective so much. And that's just a really important thing, that we need more of that in this world.
And this weekend, you are both taking part in the first ever San Diego Writers Festival.
Yes.
Can you talk about what you'll be doing there as far as the panel?
Well, actually, Alphonsion's going to be on the panel. This is San Diego's first ever Writers Festival. It's at the Central Library from 10 till late in the evening. And they've got some great authors there, a lot of them. Piper Kerman from Orange is the New Black is the keynote speaker. Alphonsion will be on a panel at 1 o'clock about immigrant stories. So I hope everybody comes. It's for writers and readers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.